the executive director. The executive director is Ben Ramirez. He's an attorney from, he graduated from the University of Toledo, and he's worked with administration somewhere, I forget. And then Mortada was born in Egypt, and he has been a diplomat for many years. And then he's worked for Governor Perry before, and then he's doing this right here. Okay, so while we're waiting, let's go ahead and show the video. So we show the video here. Why don't you go ahead and show the video? And just go on and tell them a little bit what you done in the video.
I'm going.
All the accomplishments and stuff we did this year, which is a lot. Every year we do a lot.
And we do screen share. We use Zoom, so they can see on both sides. But we're just going to show you first.
Is it too loud?
No, it's music. It's all 7 of our scholars. Yeah. It's a Cornell University, and that's, that's based on that's the girls from London, and that's where Cornell was from. These are our interns, and the lab of we'll have to talk a little bit about it first. All these people. No. It was all the rest. What's the little bit about competition?
Which competition? There's a lot.
Yeah. Tell about the UT and then talk about our trip from.
Oh, okay, so our UT competition for World Quest was extremely fun. I had a lot of fun in it, and it was different. It was our first year doing that type of competition, in which it was kind of more like a trivia quiz question type thing, and we answered many things that all dealt with foreign diplomacy and foreign issues, and we all did very good at the school. It was the first time that Valle ever competed, and we all placed. All of us who went, we all placed, and it's extremely fun. Brissa and Madison have their own story, their own moment. Do you guys want to say it? Yeah.
Go ahead, stand and set.
So one of our when we're competing, it's sort of planned for the worst. One of our partners was actually sick, and he didn't go. It was very stressful, right? Because it was split into different categories.
There's 10 questions.
Yeah.
And that sort of started with those categories, and we had a really rough time being in last place. But we actually came back from last place all the way to this place.
So it was good that that was first, because we kind of like we're
Yeah. They're like the underdogs.
And then you beat Harmony in the tiebreaker.
Oh, yeah, and then we went on to a tiebreaker with Harmony, and we all won thanks to that, So our school got the recognition, we did great, we got first, and we were able to go to Washington, D.C. for that.
I heard that coming.
In mock congressional hearings, for that we actually prepared speeches, and we presented to a panel of judges.
No.
We talked about Texas
I'll
law,
get on there.
like for example, the voter ID law, and what it was ethical.
Okay, since they're not here yet, let's go ahead and instead of waiting just for waste of space, let's go ahead and present like we're going to be later so we can get through this. Okay, so let's get to a circle like we had before.
Do you want to face this way?
Yes.
That way.
Well, no, he can see right here. Now, I actually want you to be dressing like you're going to dress him. We're sending this to him live.
Oh, okay.
So let's go ahead. Okay, now, let's start.
Oh, okay.
Everybody introduce yourself and say hello to Mortada and Ben.
Okay. Well, my name is Freddie, Nieto, if you need to know my last name too. And I go to the Valle High School.
My name is Jessica Zenora.
My name is Madison Allison.
I'm Rich Rodriguez.
And I am Lance Stover.
Okay, so we're so glad and so happy to have one last meeting with you guys. It's been a very exciting year, and we're happy that we were a part of your Global Affairs program, and we're even more happy that we were the first students in the Austin area to do something like this. It's different. It's not every day that you get to say you held an internship while you went to class at the same time, and it's a very interesting and exciting opportunity because this will go on and help us later on in college and stuff.
We're very excited to share all of our accomplishments today. And we're going to start with Freddie. We're going to read off our first activity of the year.
Yeah, so of course, as you guys remember, we started off the year with our final signing of our Global Scholars Program, and there you got to meet with Kelly Crook, our superintendent, an extremely wonderful person, always cooperative, and helped us out so much throughout the year. And we were very excited. I was very excited to begin the year in an internship with my friends and extremely great people who were all extremely smart and stuff. So I was very happy to do that this year. We decided to.
Yeah, we went on to our curriculum to be part of the program with our 6 international debates with David Suzuki High School throughout 2018 and 19. And here are some of the topics that we ended up discussing.
So the first topic that we ended up discussing, we talked about whether or not doctors should be performing euthanasia, which is assisted suicide, and whether or not that should be illegal. We argued that in March of 2019.
Right, and our second topic is about genetically modified children and talking about how ethical it really is for us to actually genetically modify children. Like we talked about things of how the child's quality of life will be affected or if it will be improved at all. And we also talked about how that will affect socioeconomic relationships in countries that would offer that kind of thing. And we discussed that in November 2018.
Another interesting one was, should marijuana be legalized? And is it ethical or not? And seeing as we debated it against Canada, and they had recently legalized marijuana, it was interesting to see their point of view of how they thought that marijuana should be legalized?
Whether it should be, and if it was ethical or not.
We also discussed whether shoes are ethical or not, whether they should be abolished. We even had a specialist come in and sit in to be part of the discussion. That was also part of the judging, and we also discovered that there are many discrepancies between the U.S. legal system as well as the Canadian legal system and how those regulations are very different in each country.
And another one is is climate change real? And that was an extremely interesting one to go over. We had the opportunity to debate with David Suzuki, and at the same time we got to talk with some Cornell professors and some students from London that we will speak of later. But yeah, we'll go into more detail later on that, but that was extremely fun.
Another one that we were able to talk to London about was whether or not we should adopt alternative energy, and that was kind of my personal favorite because not only were we talking about alternative energies, but we also had to focus on our own energies and kind of have to rethink about certain things that we were originally taught in regards to oil.
Our third big event this year was our.
Let's go around the table and ask everybody here. What was your favorite one that you like to talk about?
My favorite one was the CRISPR one, the genetically modified children.
And explain why.
Why? Because it's an interesting idea that we're able to take a piece of our DNA and cut it and alter it to completely change how you ever looked in your life. And it's extremely interesting.
Jessica?
My favorite one was the euthanasia, just because death is always something we think about, and to have another option that we can can die off, whatever. Like having another option that we can choose.
Madison?
Either the euthanasia one or the alternative energy.
And explain about euthanasia.
So euthanasia is essentially if there's somebody with cancer who's going to die soon, or if it's an old person that decides that they want to die now instead of later, whenever their time has actually come, they can go to a doctor and have the doctor assist in their suicide. So the doctor can kind of inject
Yeah,
them.
we actually saw a video from Canada
Yeah.
where they were doing that. That's little.
Where they do like lethal injections. Yeah.
I have to
Is
agree with Freddie. I think that one of my favorite ones is probably the genetically modified babies.
Okay, and same reason or?
Well, for me, it was more of like the legal repercussions in the future and how we could be affected by it, how much rights we give to the baby.
And Lance?
I do agree with Jessica on the euthanasia part, especially with how close we are to all death, but even more so with how delicate those moral codes are when you talk about how to proceed, how to help people with these kinds of issues, and even how delicate the situation is when you talk about it.
And Vanessa, which one did you like best?
I like euthanasia too,
Okay, explain why.
because like Jessica said, it was like, we basically have another option, like you can't, like it's your own death that you get to decide on, you know, and they're agreeing with you on it.
Okay, Big yeah?
I like the zoo argument
Okay.
because obviously the zoos were bad, but some points were brought up as like the possible benefits of them.
Yeah, and it's really totally different than it is in Canada. Canada is more like circus deals. There's no real regulations.
No,
and,
here in the U.S. we have.
and here in the United States, it's a lot
Those
different.
codes.
And we have something called the American Zoo
Right.
Association.
Right.
Yeah, which one did you like the best? Uh-huh. Okay, very good. Okay, now, do you think that just watching or doing this helped you out at all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it opens up how you view things. Sometimes we can be narrow-minded as individuals and as human beings, and when you're able to look at things from both sides, it really opens up the world.
It also, it makes you actually have to take a step back and look at it from a side that you didn't even think existed.
Especially when it's like people from other countries, because
Yeah.
we don't all hold the same
And
viewpoint.
we were calling the whole time. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we had, whether we believe it or not, we had to start
That's
learning
why I
how
like the
to,
alternative
which is,
energy.
yeah. And, Madison, explain to us a little bit about the alternative energy. You might like this one.
Do you want me to-
Yeah, stand up.
So for the alternative energy debate, we had to say that we needed to find alternative energy by, what was it, 2030?
Mm-hmm.
That we needed to find alternative energy by 2030 because the energy that we're using now was bad. So our argument was one thing that oil isn't a fossil fuel, which was kind of crazy to think about as a concept because we've learned for forever that it was a fossil fuel, but essentially we took Russia's definition and used the, what's it called?
Yeah.
The abiotic theory, excuse me, which explains that if you dig into a fissure, which is like a hole in the crust, well, beneath the crust, that you'll find oil pretty much anywhere. So that was one. But then also, we made it into an education argument, meaning that we just needed to change education and how we taught things rather than change the type of energy that we use.
And what's fracking, Freddie?
What is fracking? Okay, so fracking is the act in which you purposely using machinery, you kind of break up the ground itself in order to purposely get oil out. And sometimes we think of it as a really bad thing, but there were some points that were made that kind of made it seem like fracking wasn't all that bad. And that's what Russia is doing. It's technically doing
Russia's
fracking.
looking for natural fracking. We're artificial.
We're
All of a sudden,
artificially-
the oil's coming.
doing
and
something that
people
Russia
are
has
just
been doing
saying,
for years.
okay, so it makes you wonder. That's what we're arguing. Okay, let's go back to number 3. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
We actually hosted 2 international big question tournaments, and really we were answering the question of what motivates human. Are we really motivated intrinsically by our self-interest? And in order to address that, we sort of played with the definition of self-interest and how we know what our self-interests are. And I think we had an interesting take on it. We ran what we call a critique. And this was more of an exercise to sort of broaden our debating skills and not just always argue what you necessarily believe in. It's more about what type of arguments can I run, how can I take apart some of the counter arguments, or how can I address some of these hostile arguments made by the opposing counsel.
A critique is also really good because it kind kind of changes the question and the point of view in which someone's going to take. So instead of just using a back and forth argument, so he said, she said sort of thing, it's changing the whole discussion into something new. And a lot of people don't expect that to happen, so that's how you can kind of force them to think.
Let's go to number 4, Freddie.
Okay, so this year we were able to complete 42 international school projects with other schools around the world, and that's extremely exciting. Also, one thing that me and Maddie both got to do was Food for Thought, which is an extremely fun project in which we get to make different dishes around the world, from around the world. We get to make them and we showcase them off to the schools. And so we have a website called Flipgrid, and there we cook different things. And so Maddie was able to introduce what Spam was to.
What country was it?
What country was it? That was extremely
Okay, we have 42 different countries involved in this project. And it's really fascinating. Flipgrid, we got it from Pakistan. It was developed in Minneapolis, got bought out by Microsoft last summer, and you can use Flipgrid all over the place. That's what we're kind of using now. So not only do stuff live, but you can kind of see, like, even when stuff doesn't work out, Flipgrid's always there. So, you know, while you're asleep, there people put it up. We were doing stuff with Turkey. We did big question debates with Iran. I have a lot of with Saba School in Tehran, and it's really kind of fascinating. Okay, go ahead. Jessica, next one, please.
The fifth one was the Armenian genocide. As you already saw, kind of like the snippet of what happened and the proclamation that we got from the mayor of Austin.
Yeah, somewhere between 1.5 million and 2 million Armenians passed, about 750,000 Syrians, and probably a little over 1 million Greeks. And that's just in the Ottoman Empire. And that's not even the whole majority in the Ukraine, where 7 to 12 million people died in the 30s. So some of these genocides are horrendous. Go ahead.
The sixth thing that we did was we talked to the Mexican consulate and we gave them a presentation.
Yeah, they came here first time ever. What was it?
Mr. Jorge Zugasti.
Yes, and he came and we had Spanish classes in here. We had about 80 people in here, and they were talking about even getting second citizenships and stuff, which is really kind of neat to do. Crystal?
We successfully completed the Global Scholars Program, which was what we briefly touched upon earlier.
That's also what this meeting was for.
Yes, we have to officially have this. You get graded in 10 different areas. You have to score at least 100 points. The kids all did much over that. And they're trying to get the people to start looking stuff globally and really make a difference. It's not just learning from books, it's actually trying to make a difference in the world. And Lois submit that they do. Go ahead.
Right. The eighth thing we did is that we completed regional and national World Quest competitions.
Which we talked about earlier, and how Freddie got to go to nationals and we got to 3rd place.
Let's start with next one.
Right. So the ninth thing that we did is we placed, again, 1st and 3rd in World Quest competition for regionals.
Okay, and then 10.
Right. And then for the 10th one, we successfully established and modeled an ITC moot court.
Okay, and we saw that 11.
Completing arrangements for 2 P-State challenges. So as Freddie briefly introduced, we're going to have the hashtag we want the truth of the Brexit challenge coming up in September. Some of the kids from other classes also been working on it, and just tied it into the organization.
Yeah, and then we're doing one on Syria, and we have 6 religious organizations and some international people, and we have the president of the peace organization come down in October talking to our school, or November, September. Okay.
The 12th thing we did was we participated in the alternative energy discussion with Cornell University, and then participated in the alternative energy debate with Woodford County High School in London, UK.
Okay, now let's try to go real strong in these first, because the first will be kind of neat, and then I want everybody to stand up and tell a little bit about yourself, okay? You have the little blurb. Go, 1.
Oh, there's still a result.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go
Skip
ahead.
it? No, okay, I'll say it real quick. So it's the first time the Valley has demonstrated, or the first time we've ever done ICC Moot Court in multiple languages to showcase, or to be able to speak with and interact with other students around the world. And so as you saw, we're all able to speak a bit of different languages and get to interact with people we normally wouldn't get to interact with on a normal basis. And so then the first two ones to start off.
Well, we were very fortunate to have been able to have the first virtual internship here in the Valle ISD, and also
also be part of the Global Scholars Program.
You don't have to take the bus anywhere. Number 2, Jessica.
First virtual internship, for the World Affairs Council of Austin.
Is their first one too. Number 3,
Del Valle was able to host the first international big question tournament, in the world.
okay. Number 4, then.
And this is also the first time World Affairs Council of Austin has awarded the Global Scholarship.
Yeah, first time for Del Valle to compete at the World Quest competition. As I told you, we've never done that.
Jessica.
First time for Del Valle to talk to Cornell professors about alternative energy.
Yeah, it's one thing to try to get in, but we're also type of-
It was our first time, it was the first time for Del Valle to do a debate against a school from London, and it was also the first time for Del Valle to do a debate, against London in alternative energy.
Grayson?
It was the first time to have 7 Del Valle students, or at this point graduates, obtain their global scholarship certificates.
This is the first time for Del Valle being actively involved in the ISA World Projects.
It was our first time that Del Valle had the Mexican consulate representative to the school.
First time Del Valle was asked to participate and host the Peace Day Challenge we were doing today.
Okay, now, I want each of you to stand up and read to camera. Okay, first we'll start with you. Okay.
Okay. You're gonna stand up. I don't wanna give my back to.
Well, he can see that.
Yeah, just like
They wanted to speak.
Okay, so as I said earlier, I'm Rich Rodriguez. I've been very fortunate to have been able to serve as president of the debate team for the last 3 years. I was in debate all 4 years. I competed all 4 years in youth and government. I was doing appeals court. I won first place 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018. And we ranked me and my partner second place in 2016. 2017 and 2018. We attended nationals in Chicago, and we also, I and my partner this year got district champs for NCFL, and we were national qualifiers. We debated the big question debate with the Suzuki schools all throughout all 4 years, well, in my case, and I will be attending UTEP in the fall. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm Lance Spellhall. I've been 4 years in this debate program, and I've competed for 3 years in the Youth and Government Appeals Court. Now, I've won district for all 3 years I've competed, and I've ranked in the top 5 in my 2017 year, second place in my 2018 year, also second place. I'm also national qualifier for those 2 years in 2017 and 2018. I've also debated the big question debate, and I've done the David Suzuki debate as well as the ICC moot court. I'm also a next generation researcher, in which essentially what that is me being an investigative reporter, and I'm also a top 10% graduate of the school, part of the Honor Society. I'm a global scholar, and I will also be attending UTEP in the fall.
Nick?
My name is Jessica De La Huerta, and I've been here debate for 4 years. I've competed for 3 years in youth and government appeals court, 2 years as a paralegal, and 1 year as justice. Debated big question debates with David Suzuki debates and ICCU moot court, and I am the secretary of the debate club for the past 3 years, and I will also be attending UTEP this fall. Next fall.
My name is Madison Alistine, and I have been in debate for the last 4 years. Within those 4 years, I have competed as a part of the appeals court for youth and government, YMCA. I have debated big question debates with David Suzuki debates. I have done the ICC moot court, as well as the next generation researchers, been a part of the next generation researchers. I've been an investigative reporter. I'm a part of the top 10% of my graduating class. I've qualified for the National Honor Society. I am a global scholar, and I will be attending UTEP in the fall.
Okay, great.
The same thing as them, pretty much. My name is Freddie Nieto, and I also have been a part of this for 4 years. The only difference is it took me 4 years to decide that I wanted to compete in this. I was always kind of hesitant to do it. And so my first and last year I ever doing it during my senior year, I was lucky to place in our district and our state, and luckily I got to go to nationals. And I wish all of these people would get to go with me too, because they're extremely fun to go with everywhere. Me and my partner both, Bertha, were district champs for NCFL on 2019 and we qualified for nationals, of course. I'm a part of the debate team. I'm the vice president for the 2018 through 2019 season, I guess. We debated in the big question debate. We were part of the David Zuka debates. I also did ICC Moot Court, a member of the top World Quest team 2019 for Del Valle, and went on to nationals, top 10% graduate, Honor Society, Global Scholars, and attending UTSA in the fall.
Now, overall, if you could summarize for a conclusion, what would you say you learned the most from your internship?
Overall, I can say that I am extremely glad that I was a part of this, and extremely glad that I took a jump. Even though it took me 4 years, I'm extremely glad that I was able to participate in this in the end. And what I learned is a lot, because first of all, when I go off to college, I want to major in international relations. And Global Scholars has given me the opportunity to talk with schools beyond our borders and be able to interact with other students and learn from them. And that's a big part of what foreign diplomacy and international relations is, being able to communicate with other countries around the world easily and without difficulty.
Yeah,
So I'm glad for that.
Just for time, I want to talk to y'all just. I did want to share with the email I got this morning. And the email was from Mary, who's the lady who's the director of, if you see that sign over there, the yellow sign, I think I got that in 2009. But she was one of the first international people that we were able to, in